anniversary, wedding anniversary. So that was fun. Anybody binge watch some things, TV? Went to Colorado, Heather. Nice. Splash Park with the kid. Awesome, Jacqueline. Thank you, Isaac. Corey, Bulgaria and Germany for a month. That sounds awesome. I wonder what the weather's like. But I think that gave enough people time to join. Let me go ahead and put the slide back in one more time, and we'll get started. Sharing. Okay, so I teach at O'Banion Middle School. I'm the theater director and the campus I3. I also teach yearbook. And there's my email address, my Twitter if you want to follow me. Need to be more active. And my YouTube channel, the school YouTube channel that my district YouTube channel, which has a couple of things. And I like to do parodies. If you want to watch some parodies, feel free to subscribe. Okay, so what are we going to learn today? We're going to learn the benefits of Flashcard Factory, how to use Flashcard Factory. We're going to practice Flashcard Factory as a participant. And I mentioned to some of you that were here before 8 o'clock that it would be good to have another device, maybe a cell phone or an iPad to use, because we're going to test it out as a participant. We are going to learn about sessions, have a Q&A, and if there's time, we'll learn about GimKit integration, if there's time. So let's get started. The benefits of Flashcard Factory. It's great for collaboration. Has anyone in the chat type a Y if you've actually used Flashcard Factory before? It integrates with the district Gmail accounts. Students get to compete on either a blue or orange team. I like that because I teach at O'Banion, so those are the Bison colors, so go Bison. Students get to make learning personal by creating flashcards in pairs. So not only are they in blue or orange groups, they're going to work together in a pair to make a flashcard. Like I said, collaboration, and that flashcard has visual learning and verbal learning that's taking place while they're reviewing vocabulary in a fun way. So how do you use Flashcard Factory? The first step, you're going to create your list. You create a vocabulary list, either using your own definitions or suggestions from Pear Deck's integration with Merriam-Webster's dictionary. So you could type a word and then I'll show you how to do that. And then it'll pull the definition up for you. Step 2 is the production phase. So as you can see, there is, this is what the flashcard looks like. So one student was working on the visual representation while the other person was working on the definition or using it as an example. Now to be able to use it in GimKit, I wouldn't actually use the word. I'd use something to describe it without using the word. That would be better. In this example, it actually says nucleus, so that wouldn't be best. So the students are paired up to create these visual and written illustrations for each term. Then their cards go into quality control. So in quality control, everybody gets to look at the flashcards, and you can choose, or you can have the students vote on which ones get approved. You can approve or disapprove each card once they're completed. Then step 3, as you see, this is the orange team and the blue team. And the cards, as they drop down, you can see them dropping down once they're made. And it tells you how many total terms have been created. So once they're all approved, you save the cards. And the cards can be printed out. So if you want to print them out for review, that would be a good place to actually put the vocabulary name. But if you're not going to print it out for review and you want to quiz them, then you wouldn't want the vocabulary word in it. Or you can export it to GimKit to play with their own class. GimKit's kind of like, it's an online game. It makes you feel, it feels like a game show. So, all right. So let's put these 3 steps into action. We're going to create a list. We're going to sample what the production phase looks like. And then I'll show you what the ship and study looks like as well. But first, we're going to set up our own. So like I said, if you have another device, you're going to set up your own Pear deck before. So we're not going to play with your Pear deck that you create. I just want you to go through the motions of what it looks like to create a Pear deck. So you're going to go to peardeck.com. If you can just open up another window, and you'll go to I'll show you these 2 steps, and then you can go and do it. So you're going to set up your account if you never have. You will choose teacher. And if you're following with the slides, you can just click on this. And then you're going to click login with Google. The next step, it will probably show you all the benefits that Pear Deck has before, and you're going to need to check authorize with Google. And at that point, that's when you'll get to choose your account. So I'm going to give you a second to go ahead and do that. Oh, wait, no, one more slide. So I do want you to notice when you get logged into Pear Deck, you should see your name and log in, and you should have a nice little crown on top of your icon. And the reason you have the crown is because the district is paying for a premium account for us that gives us a lot more benefits. And once you get there, you're going to select Pear Deck vocabulary. I can walk you through all those steps. So you're going to log in. Once you log in, you'll see the green box for Pear Deck vocabulary. And you'll let me know once you get to that point. So I'm going to give you, let's say, 1-2 minutes to do that, to get a device and log on or open up a new tab. Oh, okay. Chelsea, you can't make me the host to add polls or Q&A, can you?
I cannot, Courtney, but if you want to tell me the poll, I can start it for you.
Okay. Can you put, I'm ready, let's move on.
Okay. You said I am ready to move on?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready to move on as one of the options, and the other one, I need more time. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Okay, and you just tell me when. I'll let you know what I see. I'm gonna actually just show everyone the results, so you should be
okay. Perfect. Okay, so I added a poll. Once you're ready, if you will go ahead and select that you're ready to move on. Hi, Amy. Welcome. Welcome, Luz. Right now, we are logging into Pear Deck if you just joined. So if you will go to peardeck.com, and let me go back to my slide. You're going to go to the teacher login and select login with Google. You'll click authorize with Google. Select your school Garland ISD Gmail account. And then on the home screen, you're going to select Pear Deck vocabulary, because you're going to create your own list. So if you have some ideas for vocabulary words in mind, you can go ahead and start putting that there. I also mentioned that you have a little crown above your head because the district pays for a premium account for us. Oh, you don't see the poll, Heather? If you go to the triangle, square, and circle, if you select that and go to polls, you should see it. Let me know if you don't. For those of you that are ready, you can start entering
Are
items.
you able to see those, Courtney, the poll on your end?
I can see them.
Okay,
I can see them. There's about 15 people that are ready. Yes,
when you need
I
me
can
to
see
send
it.
another one, if I don't hear right away, just shoot the text in the chat, and I'll see that for sure.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, ma'am. So what we're going to do, if you're going to start entering items to start a list. If you're already there, you can select that create a vocabulary list. So if you're already ready to move on, you can start creating your list. The easiest way, you can type a term and then select definitions. So let's say your word is antibody. I don't know if that came to my head. And you can select definitions and it will select a definition for antibody. Or you can type the definition that you would like. Once I get a few more people that are ready, I'll show you an easy way to import. And if you're following along in my slide, there's a sample list that you can import. I also gave you some SAT terms. If you want to find some of those that you can put in the sample list and then import. I'll show you that in a moment. For those of you who just joined, here is the slide that I'm sharing. And I will go ahead, let me get the links to the sample list. Okay, here's an example of the sample vocabulary that you can use. Okay, so the first link I did is the presentation. The second link is a link to the sample vocabulary that you can import. And the third list, I'll just go ahead and title that, is the SAT list. Okay, so I'm going to show you the SAT list. We'll go ahead and move on. All right, so here's the SAT list. So I liked this list because it's already kind of like in a spreadsheet setup. So what we're going to do, and what you can do if you find anything that's set up like a spreadsheet, is copy. Go ahead and select some words. Well, I'll select some other ones. Let's go lower. Okay, so I'll select these. And you guys can edit the other. So if you want to add more vocabulary words to that sample list, you're welcome to. And then we're going to go to the spreadsheet. And I'm going to click on this first cell, paste. And so I'm going to delete column A and delete column D. And then if I'm importing, I'm going to just select B and C, because to import, you just need two different columns. So I'm going to open up a Pear deck. This will show you how to log in. Go to Pear deck vocabulary. Create a vocab list. So if you go to import right here, all you need is the example word and example definition set up. And if you've got it in a Google Sheets spreadsheet, just Control V, pop all those words. It gives you a sample. You can preview it. Look at that. Super easy. And then I will import the list. So now it's ready. You don't want to have too many terms in your list because it does take time to make the cards. When I've done it, I've found that like 5 to 10 flashcards is pretty good. Otherwise, it may become a little bit too much. Okay. Did everybody get a chance to put some vocabulary words in their vocabulary list? Can you just type a Y in the chat if you did, and a C if you're confused? Awesome. Okay, so, and then you would select Play Flashcard Factory if you were going to do this activity for your class or for a group of people. So let's move on. Okay, so now we're going to practice Flashcard Factory as a participant. So you're going to, on your other device, you're going to go to joinpd.com, and I'm going to show you how I will pull up a code. So I guess we're going to do SAT words. Let me go back to Pear Deck. And I'm going to take out, like I said, I don't like having too many vocabulary words, so let's just have 5. So you can add a new term by doing a plus, or over here on the, oh, I'm not sharing the tab, hold on. Over on the minus, you can take away terms. So we're gonna just have 5 terms. So, and I'm going to give my vocabulary a title, SAT vocabulary, Play Flashcard Factory. Okay, as you can see, it says for you as the teacher, you're going to make sure this browser window is visible on your classroom's projector. And then you'll just put, okay, I see it on the projector. You guys should all be able to see it. Okay, and then you're going to go to joinpd.com. And you're going to type in the code, which is UPVCXB. And they have this little fun acronym. So underwhelmed pairs victoriously conduct xeric bandanas. So as you can see the people joining, we've got 14 workers joining, 15 workers, 17. Been using Pear Deck as an external tool in Canvas, so it's embedded. They don't use the code. Would Flashcard Factory work the same way? That is a good question. I believe that it won't. I have not used it directly with Canvas. I will find that out for you, though. And we can maybe even, if we have time, we can try and look and see. But I believe that you will need to have them use the join code. Or is there a link? No, there's no link for the join code. Oh, Chelsea's got it. There we go. But yes, normally I just have them go to joinpd.com. Okay, we got a few more that need to join. Let's see, we've got me, Chelsea, 326. So 2 more, I think. Anybody that needs more time to join? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and clock in. That's what you would do as a teacher, is clock in. Okay, and we've got the orange, the day shift groups, and the blue night shift groups. So you can shuffle teams if for some reason you see like 2 people that, you know, really don't work well together. You could, it doesn't really matter though, because you're not talking, you don't have to talk. But you could shuffle the teams up if you don't like the pairings. So I'll let the day shift take a look. And then we've got the night shift. Okay, so let's go ahead and play. So this is what you'll display. You'll display the factory and the vocabulary word and the term should be there, and it will tell you if you need to. I would say you're going to write a description if you're doing a verbal during the written one, or you can draw an example of the word. It'll tell you which one you are doing. And unfortunately, we were uneven, so we had two people that are working by themselves. All right, we've got some flashcards coming in. So I like to wait till we at least have enough examples for all 5 terms. And at the top of each flashcard, you can see there's either a blue line for the blue team or the orange team. And students can join later. The code's right down there, the UPV in the bottom left-hand corner. You can see the code. So if someone comes in late, they can go ahead and join. Look at all those cards. Okay, we've got examples for all 5 terms. We could keep going. Oh, I have a duplicate of bait. Oh, that's an extra one that we've got. Okay. All right, so now we can move on to quality control, unless someone wants to continue. We'll go ahead and take a look at quality control. Let's see. You know what? I'll give you 1 more minute in case you're in the middle of a masterpiece. So we'll stop at 8:24. Thank you, Chelsea, for answering Kevin's question. Okay, so it didn't let you finish your sentence. That's because your partner went ahead and moved on to the next term. So that makes it a little difficult if you're not in the room with each other. So in the classroom, you would pair them up so they can sit near each other and they would know not to continue. But that's what happened. Good point, Heather. You can't set a time limit, but you can just, so you can't chat. These are great questions. The only way you could chat with your team is maybe if you put them in a breakout room in a Google Meet, and they could chat. But I also played this before COVID and would have them sit right beside each other. Once they got their pairs, they would sit together. So, and then you don't set a time limit, but you can watch and go ahead and you determine when it goes to quality control. So because it integrates with Google, it's going to show their actual names. Good question, Roberta. Now, when we take it to GimKit, does GimKit show? I think GimKit shows their actual name as well. Okay, so we're going to move on. Great questions to quality control. So here we go. We've got our first example, and it doesn't show who did what. So on the quality control, it's not going to share who did what part. So here we go. We've got a bash. He was abashed by his friends at school. And then we've got a cat. So what do we say? Are we going to keep or throw it away? Let's put a K if we're going to keep it. And we're going to put a T if we're going to throw it away. We're going to accept this card or not. Keep. Okay, let's see. I'm going to see if we get a couple keeps. Okay, that one is approved. All right. Okay, abash. The dog was made to feel ashamed. Keep, K or T. Throw it away. And it's tallying. Each team gets a point for the ones we keep. All right. I think we had more throwaways. So I'll show you what the throwaway looks like. And also the teacher can just determine if they liked it, if they want to keep the card or not. Abash. When I dropped my tray of food, I was abashed by the other students. Okay, we've got some keeps. We'll keep. I think I see a trend. I think orange is voting for themselves. All right, abash. Losing a game. And what I actually would do, if I'm going to send it in a gem kit, if they had used the word abash, I would probably go ahead and say that's a no keeper. But if I want to keep it as a flashcard, I would keep it. So this one was good in that it just gives an example of it. So we're going to keep that one. Abash. The team abashed the other team. Can you tell which team? Yes, you can once you approved it or not. If you can see, you see how it's orange and blue on this side right now. Before we get to it, you can't see which team. But once it's been approved, you can see. And we're going to trash that one because that one it doesn't have a description. So we're going to go ahead and or a drawing and trash. No picture exactly. Okay, the teacher put a bait to the madness. We're going to trash or keep. Trash. Abate. Sally felt the discussion needed to be abated because her group couldn't agree on what to do for their, and I think they got cut off. Keep. Awesome. Abate. Ending an argument. Keep. Abate. Tylenol makes my headache abate. Keep that one. All right, abate. The crisis was abated by the quick thinking of the policeman. Keep. And also when you're together, that helps so you can make your illustration match your description. Abbess, Mother Superior. Look at these drawings. Keep. All right. Abbess. The abbess of the convent was very strict. Okay, we'll go ahead and keep that one. Abbess, Queen Elizabeth. Trash. So we see the points. So we got orange with 5 points, blue with 4 points. Abbess, Mother. Keep. All right. Abbey. We are going to a concert in the Abbey. Okay, we will trash. So I didn't say when I started out, but if I knew we were going to take it to GimKit, I would have said, if you use the vocabulary in the term, if word in the term, then it'll be an automatic trash. A lot of people that live and work together. Abby. Okay, keep. There we go. It was freezing for a minute. Abbey, a place where nuns may gather to worship similar to church. Keep. Abbey, we are going to visit the Abbey. Trash, okay. Abbot, its leadership role, head of monastery. Abbot, the person in charge of a monastery or abbey. And our last one, abbot, a man that is in charge of a monastery. Okay, great. So you could have gone back and changed some, but once we've got our terms, we've got our set. So let's go back to our slide for a moment. Great job, guys. Thank you. Okay, so next I want to share about sessions. So sessions are games that you play with the classes. We just had a session. You can return to them by, oh, I had a typo. I got to change that. By selecting the presentation icon, which is, it looks like this. It's right here. And select sessions at the top where you see home. You can select sessions to access it. You'll select the three dots on the right of the session to rename or archive your session. So it'll tell you the file name of the vocabulary you were using. You can give that session a name. Like I had one, I usually name it the class period. And if you're wondering which class it was, it'll tell you the time you last played. So you can look and see, oh yeah, that was fifth period that we played that. So you can give it a name, fifth period. If for example, if you didn't finish all the cards and maybe you just wanted to have a 5-minute time to work on it every day, you could go back to it each day. And then whenever you go ahead and submit it, and then you're finished. So let's go. Let me show you what that looks like. Open up a new. Okay, so right here is where you go to sessions. And here it is. SAT vocabulary, the one we just did. If I wanted to restart it, we do the present here. And right now it's unnamed. So I'm going to go to the three dots, name this session, and we'll call it icon training. There you go. What I also want to show you is the archived. So this shows other ones that you've done. And if you ever want to revisit it or make a copy of like the file terms that you used, you can go back to it. You would just need to restore it. So for example, we can restore this one from archives, go back to active, and then you can start it back up. Okay, so there you go. That's what I just showed you, archive sessions. All right, so does anyone have any questions? We've got 10 more minutes, and I may get a chance. Yes, oh, that's a great question, Claudia. Can you share a vocabulary list with other teachers? Yes, let me show you how. Okay. Okay, so if we go to, actually, let's go to sessions. Go to sessions and our SAT vocabulary. Edit, you go to edit. And you can share. So if you click share, right here. You can publish and share your lessons. So there it is, SAT vocabulary, select subjects, choose the subject, choose the grade level. You can select terms. You can credit yourself. I'm not going to credit myself. I'm not going to actually even share it. But then you can publish your lesson, and then other people can get to it. The other way you can share is just by giving them your spreadsheet, and they can import it themselves. Let's see, Nancy, just to clarify, are the students that are doing the writing? Okay, so you would use the word in a sentence if you're going to make it a flashcard, because you can print the flashcards out. So use the word in a sentence if you want to give them like digital flashcards to look and study from. But if you're going to take it to like a quiz like GimKit, then they would write their own definitions. So it's up to you of how you're going to use it. So yeah, so that's why I said it could be correct. If you're using it so it can be a flashcard, maybe you want to print them out for them, then yeah, you definitely want the definition on there. But if you're going to use it in a game setting where you don't want the word there because they're going to choose the word in GimKit, then you would throw it out. So you would just tell the students at the beginning which one you're going to choose. Great question. Okay, let me any other questions? Oh wait, there's one. Okay, so they work together in real time. So it would be pretty difficult to have multiple classes, Heather, at the same time, unless you're doing it after school or in the morning. They could all go and make cards in the same session. You would just open the session up again later and have more people join if you wanted all of your students to work on flashcards, but they wouldn't be working on them in real time. Does that answer your question, Heather? Okay, awesome. And also, if you had I had a great group of flashcards by one class, you can use a different class's flashcards to test the students, or maybe say, okay, whoever has the best flashcards, we're going to, those are going to get printed out and I'll hand them out to all the students. Sharing session, shares. Okay, so sharing what I just shared that you saw, I shared the vocabulary list. So, so another way that I said you could share the vocabulary list would be sharing the spreadsheet so that your coworkers could just take that spreadsheet, copy it real quick, and import. Does that make sense, Diana? So sharing the session, you don't actually share the session. Student class, so they won't see unless you're recording that when you review. They wouldn't see those flashcards. They will see them when you import it into the game or when you print out the flashcards. So all great questions. Okay, so I'll show you just the GimKit preview. And yes, go ahead and click on this link. We still have 5 minutes, but you can click on that link and do your attendance. And feel free to check out some other classes later. But let me go ahead and share. Oh, stop sharing my slides. Okay, let me go back to it. Okay, so GimKit, if you saw on the Pear deck where it said you can export your flashcards to GimKit, you will use your Google login with GimKit. Unfortunately, GimKit, the basic, only hosts up to 5 players. So you could it'll be a little difficult, but you could copy the GimKit session and play in different groups of 5. It'll be a lot of multitasking on your part, but you can make it work. And this is what the GimKit would look like. So for the person who asked about, do you put the vocabulary word in the flashcard. For this, you wouldn't, because it shows the illustration. These are ones that my students actually did. And then it tells you the definition, and you can choose, then they're going to vote. They're going to have to choose the correct answer. If a student doesn't have a device, could they do this activity on paper? You know, you could. You could have two students that don't have a device sit and look, because if you have a projector, when you're projecting the factory, it shows all the vocabulary words. So you would just want to print out your spreadsheet of the list of vocabulary words so they could see it, and maybe pair them up with another kid and say, okay, you're going to draw, you know, every other time you swap, if you're going to draw it and if you're going to do the written example. That's a great question. Thank you, Heather. All right. Well, I'm still here for 3 minutes if you have any other questions, but thanks for joining Bring Relevance to Vocabulary with Pear Flashcard Factory. You guys were great. Enjoy the rest of your sessions.